Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kazu here, and welcome back to another Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak video. In today's video, we're going to be covering the 5 best elemental longsword builds, and these will be in template format, so you can pick whichever one you like and swap in or out of the different element weapons that will be showcased in just a moment. I did spend a lot of time researching and testing builds, so I'd appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe if you found the information in this video to be helpful and would like to see more Monster Hunter content in the future. But without further ado, let's get straight into the build guides. As the builds are templates, which for the most part can be used with almost any elemental weapon, we should go over the 5 best longswords for each element first, and then I'll show you the builds. So starting with the water element, our first weapon is the Abyss Bringer Blade, which is the Almudron Longsword. This has 310 raw attack, 72 water element, no affinity, no defense bonus, a 2 slot, a 1 slot, and a level 3 rampage slot. Next we have the Volcanic Apocalypse from the Magma Almudron, and this has the same attack, the same elemental damage but as fire, good white sharpness, 0% affinity, a level 3 slot, and a level 3 rampage slot. Then we have the Flicker Blizzard Slash. This is from the Aurora Somnicanth. It has 310 raw attack, good white sharpness, 69 ice element, very nice, 0% affinity, 2 1 slots, and then a level 3 rampage slot. Next we have the Red Flash from Valstrax. This is going to have 320 attack, it's going to have an insane amount of white sharpness, 53 dragon element, no affinity, and a 2 slot with a level 2 rampage slot. Last but not least we have the Oppressor's Abyss from Zinogre. This has 320 raw attack, it has a sliver of purple sharpness, 10 hits worth, it has 55 thunder element, no affinity, and 2 1 slots as well as a level 2 rampage slot. I would also like to bring up some honorable mentions. So we have the Torrential Hail from Narwa, that is a direct competitor to the Oppressor's Abyss from Zinogre. As you can see, it has roughly 8 more elemental damage and 10 less raw attack without the 2 1 slots. So overall, I'd still recommend the Oppressor's Abyss over the Torrential Hail. The other one is going to be Dara's Storm from Kushala Dara. And then this is going to compete against the Flicker Blizzard Slash. So this weapon actually has 10 more raw and 13 less ice element. The ice element differential here is going to be a lot bigger than the previous weapons, and it is down 1 slot. So this one's completely a personal choice. It's up to you. However, you do need more materials to make the Dara Storm, and you do have to be able to fight Valstrax before you can even get this weapon at rare 10. Now I'll share the 5 best elemental build templates that we're going to showcase throughout the video. So the first is going to be a budget build. This is going to have all the main combat skills you want, but only needs a 3/2 1 slot talisman, which pretty much everyone should have by endgame, hopefully. And the next one is going to be a comfort build. This is going to have Blood Rite level 2 for some nice healing, and it only needs a 1 quick sheath with 2 slot talisman or equivalent. Then we are going to have a meta build, which is around the chain crit skill. That's going to be quick sheath 3 plus 2 slots for the talisman. It's going to need a decent talisman for this build. Then we have the Valstrax build. This is purely for the dragon element weapon. It's going to be a very potent build for it though, and you're going to need at least a quick sheath 3 plus 2 slot talisman. It's very, very, very slot heavy for this build. And our last build is going to be the min-max build, which is going to have a level of Dereliction for some extra damage. And this is going to need a quick sheath 3 plus 2 slot talisman or better. So let's jump into the first build. Looking at our budget build, the skills from this armor is going to give us 85% affinity when maximum might is up and running. We're going to have excellent damage from the level 5 element attack boost level 4, and crit boost level 3, as well as chain crit level 3, which we'll go over in a minute. And then we also have quick sheath 3 and wirebug whisperer level 3, which are mandatory utility skills. We also have a level of resentment and stun resistance that just comes with the set. For our equipment, we have the Kaiser Crown X, Archfiend Armor Ballo, Barioth Vambraces X, Archfiend Armor Ura, Hunter's Greaves X, and a talisman with at least a 3/1 slot available for it. The weapon, again, does not matter. This is a template build, so you can run whichever weapon you want. However, in this case, we are running the Abyssbringer Blade, which has a 2-slot in it. So if you run it with a weapon that doesn't have a 2-slot, you're going to be missing a level of crit boost unless your Talisman can cover that. Now I'm going to show these decorations on screen, and the minimum requirement is a 3-2-1 slot Talisman. But if you do have a better Talisman than this, that has perhaps a level of Quick Sheath or a level of Wirebug Whisperer with it, then you don't even need any slots on the weapon. This should be more than enough. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Chain Crit skill, this is a new armor skill from Sunbreak, and it makes it so that upon an attack hit, you gain a temporary bonus to your raw attack as well as your elemental attack, and this increases after 5 consecutive hits. Now, for those of you wondering what exactly are the stat boosts given by Chain Crit, well, this table was provided and tested by Lord Vietner. He has a video on Chain Crit, link is going to be in the description below. Thank you to him for giving us this spreadsheet. As you can see here, for the longsword, we're going to gain 15 attack and 15 element boost at Chain Crit level 3 if we continuously attack with the weapon. This stat boost is huge for both our raw attack and elemental attack, and will give us a big bump in DPS. Okay, so for our comfort build, we're going to have less affinity and less chain crit, but in exchange we're going to have 2 levels of Blood Rite alongside Part Breaker due to the Malzeno Waste added in this set. So that's going to give us 6% of damage dealt converted into health. As you can see here, our equipment is going to be the Kaiser Crown X, the Archfiend Armor Ballo, the Malzeno Braces, the Malzeno Coil, the Hunter's Greaves X, and our Talisman, which in this case has 2 levels of Quick Sheath and a 2-slot 1-slot. You could use a Quick Sheath level 1 with 2 2-slots or better for this build. Decorations are also going to be on screen as well. And this build combines the damage output of the regular elemental build, but with the addition of Blood Rite so that we have some form of sustain in combat. You're not going to have to heal as much once you break a part that you could start healing off of. Next up, we have the meta build. This is going to have 95% affinity. It'll be very similar to our budget build, but just with slightly better stats. And the main benefit of this build is going to be the flexibility here. So because we have a better talisman slotted in, our armor choices are more efficient, and therefore we don't need to rely on the weapon for slots. So if you don't have the talisman that's going to be shown here, which is going to be a Quick Sheath level 3 with 2 2-slots talisman, then if you could sub in with at least a Quick Sheath 2 2-slots and then having the 2-slot on the weapon. Other than that, it's going to be very similar to the builds before. We're trying to maximize our damage output while still having Chain Crit at level 3. If you have additional slots because your talisman is better, then you can try to fit in additional attack boosts up to attack boost 7. If you had a God Talisman, you could definitely get up to attack boost 7. But unfortunately, we're just using Quick Sheath 3 with 2 2-slots, which is good enough to give us all the offensive stats that we mainly need. So for the Valstrax build, we are going to have a total of 80% affinity from maxed out weakness exploit and maximum might, and then we are going to get big damage from resentment level 5, dragon attack level 5, dragon heart level 5, resuscitate level 3, and crit boost level 3. We also have quick sheath level 3 and Wirebug Whisperer level 3, all of which are added in through decorations. The orange skills are the ones that are part of the Valstrax set. And if you're curious about Dragonheart and how much that does affect our character, I'm going to show a comparison side by side. We have 355 attack before it is active, and we're going to have 407 afterwards, but this does also include Resuscitate being procced by the Dragon Blade. So looking at the equipment, we have full Valstrax armor and the red flash, which is the Valstrax weapon. It is the best dragon weapon for longsword. We also have our Quick Sheath 3 2-slot talisman, same as before, and the decorations used in the set are going to be on screen. So for this armor set, you really do want to stay below 80% health so that you get the increased attack, as well as the Dragon Blight active so that you have Resuscitate. It's going to give you a huge boost to damage. If you use potions to heal back up, just make sure not to heal back up all the way to full. You want to still have some health missing for the Dragon Heart. Lastly, we have our min-max build, which has a total of 85% affinity, a ton of damage skills from elemental attack, attack boost level 4, crit boost level 3, chain crit level 3, critical element level 2, and then on top of that we have Dereliction level 1 with resentment level 2, and our quick sheath level 3 and wirebowed whisperer level 3 utility skills. So we have a lot more offense on this set than previous. We have the addition of critical elements as well as Dereliction and resentment. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Dereliction, we'll briefly go over that again. Dereliction will drain your health in exchange for spawning curios, which will grant you elemental damage if you're in Red Scroll. At levels 1, 2, and 3, we're going to gain 5, 8, and 12 element respectively with 1 point of Dereliction. And as you can see here, we had 78 Thunder with 2 curio and 82 Thunder with 3 curio. So we gained 5, then 3, then 4 elements respectively from Dereliction. For our equipment, we have 3 pieces of the Archfiend armor, the chest, the waist, and the feet. Then we have the Malzeno braces and the Kaiser Crown X. The Talisman is going to be the same as always, Quick Sheath 3 with 2 slots. And I put the decorations on screen for you if you want to copy this set. Now, before we close out this video, I'm also going to share the switch skills I'm using on both the Red Scroll and the Blue Scroll. So the Red Scroll is going to be the more traditional style of play with the special sheath. We're going to be doing EI Spirit Slashes with Harvest Moon out until we get red meter, and then we'll go into the Soaring Kick and Helmbreaker to get lots of multi-hits, perfect for an elemental weapon and dealing tons of elemental damage. I mean, for the longsword, you're actually only going to be doing about 25% of your damage being elemental, and the rest of it's going to be physical, so there is more of an emphasis still on the physical damage aspect of the weapon. However, against certain monsters with very significant elemental weaknesses, you are going to get big benefits out of the elemental builds, and for the most part, I've seen speedrunners just running the elemental builds. Now for the Blue Scroll, we are going to be running the Sakura Silkbind Slash and the Sacred Sheath combo. These are both excellent moves. The Silkbind Sakura Slash is going to help us raise spirit level even if the monster's down, and the Sacred Sheath combo is going to give us a massive damage tool if we ever need it to finish off the monster or if we get a big opening. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. That was the top 5 best longsword elemental endgame builds for Sunbreak. I hope you found the information helpful. These elemental builds are going to be stronger than the non-elemental builds, which I've showcased in a previous video. Link to that will be in the description below as well as at the end of the video. I also have a few guides on the new switch skills if you're curious about them. The Harvest Moon, the Tempered Spirit Blade, as well as the Sacred Sheath combo. All of these moves are fantastic and interesting new tools. I don't really see people using Tempered Spirit Blade, but regardless, if you are curious about those moves or want more information about them, I have guides available for those. As always, like, comment, subscribe if you found the information in the video helpful. I do really appreciate the support for the channel. I've been putting in a lot of time on Sunbreak specifically to make content that's actually helpful for the community. So if you guys like the video, I always appreciate you showing the support. And look forward to more Sunbreak content to come. I might do a tips and tricks video for longsword. If you have any video suggestions, I'm definitely more than happy to take a look at those. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.